Hello, this is Marie Lundi, your trusted real estate advisor. And so in today's real estate environment, where buyer demand for homes is really high and the level of inventory is low, we are seeing homeowners receive well above the asking price in certain parts of the country. According to the National Association of Realtors, we are seeing those numbers across the country go as high as 54% of buyers are making offers that are above the asking price. And so what happens when you have a very high offer but the property does not appraise? And so this is what we're going to talk about today. And so if you're a homeowner and you're selling your house, unless you receive an all-cash offer from a buyer, you are going to have an appraisal done on your property via the buyer's lender. And so if you receive an offer that is not supported by what other similar properties are selling for in your neighborhood, it is possible that the property does not appraise for the offer price. So for example, let's say that you're selling your home for $500,000, you receive an offer for $550,000, but similar homes in your neighborhood are really selling for $500,000. There's always a possibility that, once again, the appraisal does not come all the way up to the $550,000 number. And so what happens if there's a shortfall in the appraisal, right? So if there's a gap in your appraisal, you can ask the buyer to make up the difference. So in going back to our example, let's say that the offer was for $550,000, and let's say that the appraisal came in at $500,000. You may ask the buyer to bridge the gap by coming out of pocket to make up the difference between the offer that was presented to you versus the appraisal value. Another option is to split the difference. So going back to our example, let's say that your home appraised for $500,000, the offer was for $550,000, you can meet the buyer right in the middle. And so you would say, hey, I'm willing to not accept the $550,000, accept $525,000, in which case the buyer comes out of pocket by $25,000 to bridge the gap. Lastly, if there is not an agreement, either parties can cancel the deal. Now keep in mind that both parties have a vested interest at that point to see the deal move forward. A lot of times the buyers don't want to have to go back out and find the home of their dream, and likewise for the homeowner. A lot of times they are past the home inspection contingency and they are so close to closing that they may not want to cancel the deal. So generally speaking, there is some form of a negotiation, although it is within everyone's right if there's not an agreement to cancel the contract. In my experience, it's always best to address those types of scenarios before you are actually in escrow with a buyer. And so you want to address that up front. Hey, what if there is a shortfall in the appraisal? What will happen? And so handle that situation via your attorneys at the beginning of the transaction so that there is no time wasted in case your property does not appraise. And so as an example, you can, as the homeowner, have a condition. Before accepting the offer, you can say, hey, if there is a shortfall in the appraisal, I would want you to make up the difference and see if the buyer agrees. If the buyer does not agree with that language before moving forward, then you know what may transpire moving forward, and you could make a decision at that point to move forward with that buyer or not. And so I hope that that information was helpful. If you have any questions regarding today's market, please don't hesitate to contact me. Once again, this is Marie Lundi, here to help.